Hello and welcome back to Crimson's Outpost. I now have my Thaumium Drafter and it's enchanted with Repair 2. Which this means I can now go out here to my trees. I'm not sure why I walked outside the fence instead of inside. Go out to my trees and all these pollinated leaves now, I can whack them with the Thaumium Drafter. And you'll notice every so often it'll pulse, and it actually repairs itself. I'm now at a full strength grafter again. So, I never have to worry about having another grafter as long as I don't lose this thing. Which is pretty cool. Now, I've been watching these trees over the past, day or so. And did I happen to get any? Yeah, I got a lemon sapling tree, which I've not planted yet. A couple more silver limes. A wild cherry as opposed to a hill cherry. I imagine those are just color differences. The hill cherry is that nice bright pink with the pink leaves. I don't know what the other cherry looks like. I've not planted it yet. I'll probably plant one later, just in case. But also, I built an apiarist chest, which is just or not apiarist chest, an arboreist chest, tree person, which is just, it's glass on top, a chest in the middle, and just surrounded by any forestry trees. So actually, let me just, I'll need those for later, but let's just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just so I can show you this quickly. Now, normally I would show you the recipe in not enough items, the thing over here, but for some reason a lot of those things don't work. So, it won't show the recipe. I had to look this one up. Maybe it's not glass. I don't remember what it was. Maybe it was planks or something. I don't know. But it's not a difficult recipe as long as you've got some of the forestry trees. Just about anything should make it. Like I said, I don't remember. But the main thing is I've gotten walnut trees. These are some of the things I need to get chestnuts. Now, walnut trees, unlike normal trees, some of the forestry trees are not just pop a tree down. Oh, I forgot my axe. They're not just pop a tree down and there you go. Wait for it to plant. Walnut trees take 4 saplings. So if if you're grafting trees and you only get 1 sapling, well, you can't plant the tree yet. You have to get all 4. Axe, here we go. So once you get all 4 of the butterflies. Butterflies are something that was added into forestry relatively recently. And they're just collectible at this point. I don't think you can do anything with them. Not quite sure. So, but like I was saying, walnut trees are 4x4, or not 4x4, 2x2, and they'll be larger trees. They'll have a 2x2 base. So, as soon as this stuff falls down, I'm going to just clear out some of these flowers. That's the only problem with bees, really, is they tend to spawn flowers everywhere. Eventually, if I actually start doing bees for comb production, I'll get a better system set up, like where they're inside an area and there's just enough room for the flowers they need to pollinate. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm just going to bash these trees out of the way. So the the walnut tree can grow and is not bound by anything. Pick up all the saplings. Okay. Make some bone meal and... Come on. There we go. Walnut tree. Now, those are some of the leaves from the cherry tree, which just haven't fallen off yet. But once you get a tree of any type, you can use a grafter on the leaves and you will get that tree's leaves. So as you see, I've got 4 common walnut saplings just from grafting a couple leaves of that tree. So this will allow me to plant as many walnut trees as I want once you get the one. So basically though, I wanted just 1 walnut tree and a couple silver limes because I'm going to make chestnut trees. Now, chestnut trees can be either silver limes or hill cherries plus a walnut tree. I'm going with the silver limes because they tend to be smaller trees. And it's not a huge thing. So I'm just going to plant one here. The one nice thing about the way the flowers are, though, is you can always tell where your area of bee influence is because it's always where the flowers are. So if you want to get pollinated trees, you just have to put them within the flower area. And then we want another silver lime here. And there we go. Now we have 2 silver limes going and a walnut tree, which in time will be enough for the bees to pollinate and hopefully get chestnuts. Chestnut is also a 2x2 tree, so I will need 4 chestnut saplings before I can do anything with it. Now, you may be asking yourself, well, Crimson, what the hell are you going to do with all these nuts? Well, walnuts and chestnuts are very good at producing seed oil. Seed oil can be used for a couple things. It's part of forestry. It can be used for making casings for bees, so the apiary actually had to be soaked in seed oil in a carpenter. There's some other recipes that use seed oil as well. But the main purpose, or at least what I'm going for seed oil, is I'm going to get a biogas engine. Now, unfortunately, I can't put the recipe and show you it, but they're relatively simple engines to build. It's some bronze bars up on top, a piston, bronze gears, and glass in the center above a piston. So it's like your standard forestry engine where it's, you know, there's always a piston in it and there tends to be some form of gear and usually some form of metal or stone or something up at top. So it's relatively simple. Actually, do I have enough bronze? No, I don't have enough bronze at the moment. Otherwise, I was going to make one and show you. But yeah, so biogas engines can burn seed oil, and they're pretty good at outputting power. Now, what's all this power for? Well, like back on the outpost, it's used to power machinery. In this case, forestry machines are used for it, the thermal expansion machines, so not this one, but the other expansion machines and stuff like that all run off Minecraft joules. Biogas engines are pretty good at producing Minecraft joules. And when you power them with seed oil, they're very efficient. What you can do is build a device called a multi-farm. Where is it? Here we go. Farm blocks. The entire thing is called a multi-farm. It takes a bunch of the blocks, a gearbox, a hatch, and a valve. and I believe it takes a control block as well. But once you get all those, it's in a multi-block shape, so like a 3x5 or 5x5 block. The larger the farm is, the bigger area that it affects, and the more power it takes, and the more resources it takes. So the chestnuts are going to be grown using the multi-farm. And then the multi-farm is going to take the chestnuts and pump them into squeezers, which is then going to convert that into seed oil, which is then going to power the multi-farm and hopefully have enough excess that I can build up a stockpile. You get tons of chestnuts when you have a fully functioning multi-farm going. So that's the plan. I'm going to be doing a couple things off camera while I'm waiting for those trees to pollinate. I'm going to be building I guess a floating platform for all my machinery over there on the water somewhere. So probably when I come back, you'll see this big floating platform out here. Probably somewhere over where that island is, maybe a little bit closer. I haven't quite decided yet. But it'll be somewhere over there, and it'll probably be made out of this maple wood, which I've been growing for a couple days. And to start getting the multi-farm going and powered, I'm going to be using peat engines. Now, it's another type of fuel it was introduced in forestry, and the way you get peat is you take bogged earth and mature it, and you will get peat. That's what these little things over here are. This was bogged earth at one point, but it's now peat. As you can see, when you break it, you get a piece of peat, and you get a bit of dirt. To make bogged earth, you need... Oh, hello, skeleton. You can stay out there. You need to craft it. You need to craft bogged earth. It takes water. It could be a bucket, it could be a can, it could be any form of water. That goes in the middle. And then you need to do either a combination of sand and dirt in this format, or you can do it the other way around. It works the same. And you'll get 6 bogged earth. Now, I believe if you use a can of water, that gets you 8 bogged earth, but I believe the can is consumed on use. So I'll just use a bucket. And then the bogged earth you just place down. It has to be within 2 blocks of a square of water, as you can see that I've got set up here. And then you wait, and eventually this will change into peat. Now, when you break peat, you get the dirt block back, but you don't get the sand. So you need access to a source of sand. There happens to be a desert over in that direction. The other thing that's actually really useful to get sand is if you have a thermal expansion pulverizer. As you saw in the previous videos, you can use crushed cobblestone, you get sand. At this point, I don't quite have enough power to do that, but that'll be something in the future to do to get power, to get sand. So at this point, I'm just mainly using the desert that's off in the distance and getting all the sand I need for peat. So build up the peat, get a nice supply of that so I can power the peat-fired engines, which will then in turn allow me to power the multi-farm enough to get it started to then power the have it power itself, hopefully. So that's what I'm going to be doing in the meantime. I will probably get that multi-farm put together. It will probably be somewhere over where the bee area is at the moment. Once I get that done and built, it'll probably be somewhere over there, I imagine. Because once I get the chestnuts, that's all the bees are going to be needed for at the moment. There's a lot of stuff you can do with bees later, but nothing I'm really looking forward to now. I'm just trying to get some form of power set up. So there'll be a platform built next time I see you, and hopefully I'll have the multi-farm laid out and figure out where I want it, get all the components for it, and I will be back building it so you guys can see how it works. So that, I believe, is that until I get everything set up. We're basically just going to be, well, farming materials at this point. And I'll be back and I'll show you that platform when it's all done. Hello, and I'm back, and as you can see, I've got a little functional building over here. Forgive me if these buildings are not designed to be aesthetically pleasing, mostly for machine shops and stuff like that, and just getting started with something. I just like to make useful rooms instead of aesthetically pleasing rooms. I can always come back and fix that later once I have stuff actually set up. So I use the maple wood for this little bridge walkway area, maple wood planks, maple wood logs for the support structures. This is actually redwood planks from the giant redwood tree over there, and just some fences and stuff like that. And this is all clear glass, which has these nice connected textures so you can barely tell it's there. I don't know if I mentioned clear glass before, but if I didn't, you just melt sand in the smeltery and pop it out into the casting basin, and you'll get clear glass. So, the other thing is I see a bunch of pollinated leaves, so I'm going to go over here real quickly and see if we happen to get anything. See if we get any chestnuts. So I'll be back in just a moment once I have all these leaves broken. Alright, well, broke all the leaves. I didn't get any chestnut saplings that I could see. What's this one? Yeah. I got a whole bunch of silver limes, some hill cherries, a butternut sapling. I have no idea what this one is. More common walnut, and an acorn oak. Whatever that one is. Trees that I have not seen before. Oh, there's one more leaf up here. Let me just bash this. Oh. A little bit hungry. Apparently bashing leaves is very tiring. Sneak in here. Common walnut, orchard apple. Yep. No chestnuts. Oh well. There's only like a 10% chance of getting the mutation anyway. So, that's alright. We'll just wait. We'll let my busy little bees do more work. This walnut tree, though, is dropping stuff like crazy. I wonder how many walnuts I've missed while I've been building that have fallen and, you know, despawned. So, and apparently this is a silver lime tree which produces cherries. That's new to me. And this is a ghost walnut that just keeps falling. Whoa. See, like I said, tons of walnuts. Can I even eat these? Oh, good. I can't eat them. I just want to get some food back in me. Anyway, yeah, so I think that's going to be it for this episode. Next time, I'm going to work on getting the multi-farm set up in preparation, hopefully, for when we get the chestnut trees. I may do it with walnut trees to start with, just because, you know, it's relatively easy since I have a walnut tree. So next time we'll work on getting the multi-farm set up and all sorts of stuff like that. So I just have to decide where I want to put it too. So thanks for watching. Like, share, favorite this video, and as always, have fun.